Welcome to The Factor Uncensored, and thank you for joining us tonight. More eyes are on President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden. Attorney General Merrick Garland named a special counsel to investigate Hunter. He is David Wise. And now Wise is one of 3 ongoing special counsels here in this country focused on the White House. Wise is investigating Hunter Biden's taxes and gun charges. Robert Hur is investigating President Biden's handling of classified documents, and Jack Smith is looking into former President Trump's handling of classified documents and election interference. Back to Wise. He is the same guy who arranged what many call the sweetheart plea deal with Hunter Biden that was rejected by a judge last month. Can he be impartial in this investigation? Let's bring in our guest tonight to talk about it, Attorney Eric Dick, and esteemed University of Houston downtown professors, Dr. Dietrich von Biedenfeld and Dr. David Branham. Since you guys are esteemed, let's start with you all on this matter tonight. Can he handle the case? And can he be impartial?
Can he be impartial? I think at first the Republicans thought so because he was originally a Trump appointee, but they've been very disappointed with his performance because
they want Hunter Biden under the jail, in prison.
He's been investigating for 5 years,
yeah.
And so in 5 years he came up with a sweetheart plea deal. That's their problem with Weiss. So that's what they'll be looking at going forward. So can he be impartial? I don't know for sure if he can be impartial, but this position will give him more wide-ranging power as far as jurisdiction. It may allow him to go after Biden in cases outside of Delaware that could be more of a meat case, so to speak, when it comes to actually convicting him.
Eric, let's talk to you about the plea deal that Hunter Biden initially had, and then the judge said, let's talk about this. Was it fair, or was it a sweetheart deal, as many have implied and said?
Whenever you're getting misdemeanors, if I was defending the case and my client could be charged with felonies and was getting a misdemeanors and probation, that's not a bad deal. Mm-hmm. So, and you're getting a pretrial diversion on the gun charges, that's not a bad deal. And if you say sweetheart, I'd kind of agree that is a sweetheart deal. And that's kind of the deal.
So can the average person in Houston on the street get that kind of deal?
With a really, really, really good attorney. I think it's possible, but it's not easy. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's an easy deal to get at all. And especially with the federal prosecutor, it's more unlikely. But here's what I think is more bizarro, is you had the prosecutor working this case for 5 years and seeking now to dismiss the case in Delaware and potentially filing in other places, which that makes me scratch my head.
What are you thinking, though, when you hear that? What are your actual thoughts about this? What's going on in your mind?
So what I'm thinking about is for tax fraud, there's a 3/6 year statute of limitations, and I wonder about that. Mm-hmm. It first starts off with 3 years, which is easy. It's your normal tax evasion kind of statute of limitations, but it's so much harder to get to the 6 years. This is stuff that happened in 17 and 18. So I wonder about that. Mm-hmm. And then why would you, if the judge is giving you problems, so you just go forum shop to somewhere else? I think there's no, and being an intern at the DA's office, when I worked with Carl Hobbs, he always would say there's no coincidences in criminal law. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of coincidences going on here. I think there's shenanigans.
Dr. von Biedenfeld, do you smell something?
I mean, nowadays, everybody's looking for their book deal. Everybody's looking for their promotion. And so a high-profile case like this, even with special prosecutor powers that are going to insulate Mr. Weiss and then give him greater latitude, the danger is for Democrats that this expands his investigatory power, it expands his reach, and removes him from the usual chain of command where somebody might politically influence him easily. But that doesn't change people's motivations. And so as this individual, like many of these folks who are taking relatively low-paid jobs, because my fellow counselor over here is going to make a lot more money off a sweetheart deal like that than the average Justice Department official. So those private sector attorneys are making tons of money, and Mr. Weiss may be looking like anybody else to say, once I get out of here and negotiate this deal where I've conflated IRS charges with gun and drug charges, hey, I'm going to go out and do a book deal. I'm going to go make some money. And it really does stink. It seems very strange. The judge was confused by this deal. And then for them to go back and for the negotiations to break down, I think that Hunter Biden's attorneys probably felt like Papa was going to step in and help them. And that didn't happen.
And really quick, Dr. Branham, is this about politics, or does the average American even care about this? I've never ran into anybody who said, unless they're individuals who are heavily involved in politics, heavily conservative, that damn Hunter Biden.
Yeah,
but the average person is like,
I don't think it's going to change a vote. I think Joe Biden is still going to win the Democratic nomination just as easily as he would before. I don't think it's going to affect elections at all. You're talking about really hardcore conservatives being mad. Their vote's going to go against them anyway.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us tonight on a Friday. I know you gave up a lot of partying.